Good morning. Hey, welcome to part 5 in our 6-part series. I know I've been saying 7 this whole time, and it's actually 6. Sorry, 6. Only 6 parts, but this is part 5 today. Our series titled Conversations. This is moving along in conversations that we're having with everyday people, and how, it's not the big conversations that make a big difference, but the everyday conversations that we have, and how we can apply certain aspects, biblical aspects, into these conversations to help people out. That's what this series has been about. Yesterday we talked about, we kind of went more in depth on asking questions. Uh, so today, what I want to do is I kind of want to give you a game plan, if you will, or a method with your questions that you can use to keep the conversation rolling and to keep the conversation on point or on path in a direction, if you will. This is a good method to use. So what we're looking at here is, like I said, a good method to use. In Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5, it says this. It says, through good advice, or though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Did you catch that though? It doesn't say good advice lies within their heart. It says good advice lies within the heart, your heart. A person with understanding will draw that out of you. Basically, you know what you need to do. You have the knowledge. You have the advice inside you. It's just our flesh keeps knocking it down. Our negative side is really strong and keeps knocking it down. And we need someone to help draw that out of us. It's not someone telling us what to do. It's us drawing it out. Okay? So this approach, if you will, really applies to that. It helps draw these things out. It helps people discover their path, or their, not necessarily path, but what they're trying to find out through themselves by asking questions. Okay, here we go. This is actually put on, I found it through Life Church, and I'll post a link to this guide in the comments here when we get done. So, or in the title, actually. I'll go back and post it in the title. But that way you'll have it. It's really good. I really like it, so that's why I'm sharing it with you today. But the acronym is GROW. GROW, GROW. And what that stands for is goal, reality, options, and the way forward. Okay, so GROW. The first one is goal. The goal is basically you're asking the other person in the conversation or the group, what specifically would you like to get out of this? What do you want to get out of this conversation? Basically, what's on your mind? What's the most important thing for us to focus on? How can I be helpful? You're asking them their opinion. You're trying to get information back. It's an open question. It's not a direct yes/no question. It's what specifically would you like to get out of this conversation? Now, if a lot of times you're talking to some people of younger generations, you're probably going to get the common, I don't know, answer, and that's frustrating. But we can direct it. Okay, we can work towards that. That's the goal. Your goal is, what do you expect to get? The reality. Reality is what's happening in your life. You have to be curious. You have to be interested in what a person is going through. Okay, you have to really break down and get almost on a personal level with this question, because you need to find out what have they tried that's not working, what are they doing that is working, what challenges do they expect to face to grow in a certain area, what's the problem. These are the reality of things, right? Things not just peachy keen and perfect. What's the reality? Okay, what's working, what's not. That's where this comes in. These questions really have to come into, like I said, kind of on a personal level with the person you're talking to. If they're not that comfortable opening up to you, you're probably not going to get much information from this one. This is where it really takes time to let your own guard down a little bit and kind of express yourself. Hey, I struggle with this in this area. They might be like, oh, so do I. Yeah, I struggle with that too. Or no, I'm good with that, but I struggle with this. So you kind of have to give a little to get some information on this one. The third option of grow is options. What could growth, basically what you're doing is you're asking them, what could growth look like? What could it look like? What could this, if you're a tree growing, what would that look like? Would it be straight up and down with no branches? Would it have branches? Would the branches reach way out into different areas and aspects? What are some tools that we can use? What kind of approaches can we take to grow? What barriers or challenges do we foresee in this growth? Because we're already talking about some challenges, so what could we see coming down the line, right? This one is going to take some time. You're going to have to really spend some time on the options aspect when in a conversation with people, because this is where you're kind of spitballing and throwing things out there, and they're kind of like either receiving them or they're like, oh no, we can't do that. So this one could be a fun part of the conversation, whereas the previous, the reality is it's the reality. It's really not that fun. You're like, I don't really want to talk about that. Options is the fun one, where you're just kind of, you're spitballing. You're having, what if? Can we go out there? Can we go back here? Can we go, what if we backed up a few steps and tried this differently? Options is a real fun part of a conversation. And then the last one is the way forward. Now, the way forward, you might be thinking, well, isn't that kind of the same thing as options? No, not really, because in the way forward, you're really breaking down what are the steps to get to that option, okay? And the way I look at it, I break it down backwards. I backtrack. I go, okay, I'm here. I want to be here. Let's back up to where I am. And then I can see how to get to where I want to be. Does that make sense? If you're here and you want to be here, and you're looking from here, you don't know how do I get. I don't know how to get there. But if you start here and go, okay, I want to be here. In order to be here, I have to do this. In order to do that, I have to do this. In order to do that, I have to do this. And then you break it down until you get to my next step is to do this. Then I can do this. Then I can do this. And you just work your way up. That's what the way forward is. It's breaking it down step by step and basically creating a game plan to get to your next option. So, this is the grow method in a conversation. And this is all in conversation. We're not making life plans or anything. But in 8 minutes, we've had I've talked to you about how to have a conversation with someone and help them grow. Could you imagine how long of a conversation you could have with someone if you spent some time discussing each one of these little areas? Probably a pretty good conversation. So, my daily drink for you today is this. Look up the GROW method, Life Church GROW method for conversation. Study it. Apply it to some of your conversations that you have with some of your fellow Christians. Apply it to some of your non-Christians. Apply it to anyone that you can sit down and have a conversation with. See how it goes. See how the conversation flows, or if it just hits a brick wall. I guarantee it's going to move. I pretty much guarantee it's going to move. Just thinking about it and talking to you guys about this, I could see how this would move really well. So apply the GROW method to your conversations. Let me know how it works. Again, I'll post the link for this on the comments, or not in the comments, in the title here, so y'all can go back and find it, and you can apply it. See where I got some of this information from. So that's my daily drink for today. Y'all be blessed, and I don't know, just on a side note, we got one more video in this series. I might do it tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. I'll probably just wait till Monday. I'll wait till Monday. So come back Monday morning to catch the final episode in this series, Conversations. Y'all be blessed. Have a good weekend.